US President Donald Trump has threatened to hit Iran very hard, as US media reported that he was considering renewed heavy attacks as soon as this weekend, including against energy infrastructure targets. Well, Trump said that he is losing faith in talks with Iran, while US Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent added that Washington is searching for Iranian assets all around the world so that the money can go to the Iranian people. Trump and Bessent made their remarks on Iran at a cabinet meeting held at the Camp David presidential retreat in Maryland. Listen to this.
We'll be hitting them. We'll be hitting them very hard. And, at some point they're going to say, we just can't take it anymore.
Orders, we started in March 2025. In December of 2025, the largest bank in Iran collapsed. The central bank had to print money. Caused inflation. Now they got 180% inflation. They aren't able to pay their troops. And on your orders, we are searching for their assets all around the world, and that money will go to the Iranian people.
The remarks came as CNN reported that the US was planning fresh strikes on Iran as soon as this weekend. However, the report also cited US officials who cautioned that the strikes could also be called off last minute. Another report by CBS News suggested that US and Israel were jointly planning what it termed as the harshest bombing campaign aimed at Iranian energy infrastructure targets. The potential targets may include Damavand, Necha and Rajai thermal power plants, with Damavand being the largest facility hosting a total capacity of about 2,900 megawatts. Next is the Necha power plant with a capacity of about 2,200 megawatts. The Rajai power plant produces around 2,000 megawatts. Capital Tehran itself is surrounded by 5 major plants: Damavand, Rajai, Montazir, Qaim, Daudshor, and Mufateh. Lastly, 4 plants, namely Besat, Rey, Tarasht, and Piran, located inside Tehran. They operate at a much lower individual capacity, totaling for nearly 1,200 megawatts. The reports have caused stir in Iran, with the Iranian officials warning US and Israel against any such action. Iran's Tasnim quoting senior security officials said that attacks on Iran's infrastructure would be a form of recklessness. Tehran previously had prepared a comprehensive plan to respond to any potential American attack. And these could be the Ras Laffan refinery and Masaid petrochemical complex in Qatar, the Samref refinery and the Jubail petrochemical complex in Saudi Arabia, the Al Hosn gas asset in the UAE. Now, as the fight for the contested waterway continues, the UK Maritime Agency has reported 2 separate incidents. UK MTO said that an unknown projectile struck a tanker 12.5 miles off the coast of Oman, causing damage to the engine room, while another incident also involved a tanker where ship crew reported a large splash and explosion in close proximity to the vessel. The agency, however, reported no casualties in both the instances. Amidst these developments, US forces continue to enforce their blockade of Iranian ports. In a statement, the US Central Command said that the Strait of Hormuz remains open for commercial vessel transit, and Iran has no control over it. CENTCOM added that as of July 30th, it redirected 30 commercial vessels, disabled 2 and boarded 2 to ensure full compliance, while it allowed nearly 30 ships carrying humanitarian aid to pass through the blockade. Now, on the other hand, Yemen's Houthi-run maritime coordination body has denied the claims that it planned to impose fees on commercial ships transiting the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, saying no such decision has been taken and that the passage through the strategic waterway remained free. Supporters of the Yemen's Houthi movement took to the streets in capital Sana'a for an anti-Saudi rally, voicing support for the group's leadership as tensions with Saudi Arabia continue to escalate. Meanwhile, a funeral was held in New York City for US Army Staff Sergeant Angel Rampersad, 2 weeks after she was killed in an Iranian missile strike on a US airbase in Jordan. The funeral was also attended by New York Governor Kathy Hochul and New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani.